This could possibly be the city driving simulator that I have been waiting for. Because after a major update, Taxi Life now supports over 17 different wheels, including mine. So here we are in the cab, and you can see here to turn right, wheel works, I turn left. It's a simple thing, right? But we've all been begging for it for Taxi Life, so we have it. So car is turned off. We do have a person waiting for us to pick them up. So let's go and get the car turned on. I have this button down here marked as my ignition, and when I press it, you see the car does not start. And that's because we're driving a manual gear car. Realistically, with simulation mode, so you have to press the clutch down and then press the ignition. So go ahead and release the handbrake. I'm using a rally or drift handbrake, which is a bit unrealistic in this particular case, but hey, it works. We'll put it into first gear, and we'll go ahead and roll on off as I release the clutch. And there we go. In the second gear, up the third, a very short first and second gear. And we are going to stop at the stoplight right behind this cop. It's about to turn green for us, I think, and we killed the engine. I thought I was going to be able to let it out, kind of coast there. Should have held the clutch a bit. Back to second again. Put our blinker on, and we'll enter into the roundabout intersection. And again, we're gonna watch that. We are right next to the cop, and we don't want this cop giving us a ticket before we pick up our passenger. Let's go up into fourth gear. Go straight to fourth gear here as we head out, and we'll stop right behind him again. So lots of traffic. And oh, I almost hit dude. I'm gonna leave it in neutral. As long as you leave it in neutral, you'll be fine. It will not. The engine won't stall out. So yeah. All right. Still gotta be careful. Still gotta be careful here in the city. I will say driving though, as I'm just doing my first trip, is much smoother. This feels much more natural driving with a wheel. It never felt natural to me driving with the Xbox controller before. Now I do have to get used to kind of what the sensitivity is on my throttle, and you can still manage what that sensitivity is. As you can see, I'm like, we're kind of like jerking back and forth here as we go. Because I'm still not used to how much pressure it takes to kind of get going. Also, the gears in first and second are very short. I'm going straight to fifth gear. We'll hang out there. But I can stay in the lanes much easier. Now, what about feedback? What about feedback? So first off, before I talk about feedback, let's talk about what wheel I'm using, what setup I'm using. They, in this latest update, why are you stopping? In this latest update, we're just gonna go straight to second this time. They added wheel support, and now they have a total of, I think, 12 to 17 wheels that are supported in Taxi Life, which is pretty sweet. Because before, at the beginning, there was like nothing. But there it is. There's the force feedback right there as we go over the speed bump here next to the beach. We'll keep straight here. Our pickup is actually right there, but we're going to drive. Actually, we might be able to loop around here. Yeah, let's go ahead and flip this around. Nobody's coming. Oh, never mind. That's not true. All right, let's put it in reverse. I went too far. Went too far. So yeah, I'm using the HGP shifter by Moza Racing. I'm just gonna back up here. That cop, hopefully he doesn't get too upset at us. We're trying to cross the street, man. That's all. But I use the HGP shifter by Moza. The CS wheel, also by Moza, with the R9 wheel base, which is 9 Newton meters of torque. And this guy, I think he's waiting for us, so we're gonna go ahead and pull around here. See if parking is any easier with a wheel. I know some of you have been using a wheel already. There were a few wheels that were supported at launch, but not very many, and none of the wheels that I own were supported. So that should be good right there. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I guess you're enjoying the day out on the beach on your lunch break. All right, let's head out. Let's go front. There we go. So much easier with a wheel. Man, I would have struggled with that parking with my controller. I'm just not used to driving with the controller, right? That's where it all started, with the controller. But anyways, as I was saying, CS wheel, R9 wheelbase, HGP shifter, and the SGP handbrake. As we go back into neutral here and stop before we hit a pedestrian. But what's funny and what's crazy is that when you look at the patch notes and what they've updated and the wheels that are now supported, none of this stuff was on that list. Not a single one of these things were on the list of what was supported. And so I'm really thankful that it is still supported. So if you have any of these things, now you know if you're interested in playing Taxi Life, you can actually enjoy this game with the wheel and the gear, man. It's good. I'm excited. I'm happy. It finally feels like I'm driving an actual car. Now you might need to do a little bit of tweaking there to kind of make the car feel the way you would like. You know, some people might want a heavy wheel, some people might want a light wheel. I did have to do some tinkering in the setups of the of course feedback settings within Taxi Life, but for the most part it's actually pretty easy. Actually very easy. Alright, I'm gonna speed through here. Lights green. There we go. But yeah, it's really easy to set up. I like that they reworked the entire way that you do button mappings, and this is actually, I think, a positive for not just people who use wheels, but hopefully for people who use keyboards and mouse, or people who use Xbox controllers. So we'll see. It depends. Let me know what you think of the update and what you think of the game as a whole. I think the game, Taxi Life itself, has honestly always had really good potential. It's never really been a bad game. It's a pretty simple game at its core. You know, you pick up passengers, you drop them off. Pick up passengers, you drop them off, and depending on how you drive, you know, how fast you drive, how fast you get there, you know, if you get into any accidents along the way, things like that depend on, you know, what rating the passengers give you, and that's kind of where the leveling up system happens. So there's a incident right here on our right. Looks like it was a car accident. Cops are already there investigating, so that's nice. I like to see those kind of random events happening around the city. Kind of just makes the city kind of feel dynamic. As you notice, and we'll see if I jinx it here, but the traffic seems to be acting a bit better than in the past. We haven't gotten rear-ended. Usually you get rear-ended like every, I don't know, it's a couple traffic lights or something like that. So far so good. But I know that it is still possible to get into car wrecks, which I think is good. You need that, right? For a city driving game, you want the possibility that the AI might hit you, or you might hit the AI. And we have a left turn coming up right here. We're gonna jump in front of this guy. In front of him. Be careful not to stall the car. We stalled it. Yeah, we stalled it. And no turn right. That's fine. I'm going straight. Beautiful city though, man. I'm really hoping that this wheel support gives me like a new fire, a new excitement to drive in this game again, because sometimes, you know, I do sim racing, as you can see with my whole rig, right? I got the next level racing GT Elite rig and all that, but sometimes you just want to, you know, chill and just drive. And so far, you know, when I want to just chill and drive, it's usually me driving my trucking setup, or the trucking game, American Truck Sim or Euro Truck Sim. I have not really been able to appreciate a city driving game in quite a while. I know that there's a few out there, but most of them have all kind of been a disappointment. Including Taxi Life. I'll admit it came out, but I think now it's finally where it should have been at release. That's basically the point that I'm trying to make. If you have City Driver, as I stall the car again, if you have City Driver, maybe give it another try with your wheel if you have a wheel. And if you don't have a wheel, it's definitely a whole new game with a wheel. Anyway, here's our first parking. We'll do a couple pickups and drop-offs today. And let's see how hard this is with the wheel. It should be pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. As I stall it again, it stalls way too easy in my opinion. I actually have a manual shift car, and what I'm doing right now would have been just fine. At least I think so. All right, we'll back up now. Just a little bit. Neutral and stop.
See you.
Thanks to you for riding with the Blue Games Taxi Company. All right, from her, we made 958. And she gave us what looks to be a 5-star rating. Is that correct? Man, I'm telling you, now that I got the wheel, I'm gonna be the best driver in the city, in the whole country of Spain. All right, let's pick up this next task. All right, sweet. We got our first completion. And I'm legit. This is cool. Really cool. This is really cool. I'm really enjoying this again. Really enjoying this. So, as I mentioned, the gearing is a little weird with manual. I know that not everyone's gonna want to use the manual gear and the clutch and stuff like that, but for those who do, a few comments on the way they've done that. So it is semi-realistic the way the kind of clutch pedal works. I mean, yes, you have to press the clutch down to go into gear. You don't have to use the clutch to go out of gear. But sometimes what I've noticed is that, like you saw me stalling earlier, that it seems to stall very soon. a very not I should say high, just higher RPM than I personally expected to stall at. But I guess that could be like more of a car characteristic that you just have to get used to, you know. But you know, other than that, the shifting is okay. You know, first and second gear is pretty small, so I gotta be careful with that. We have a turn, very sharp turn coming up here. Get a blinker on, and it's stalled. Yeah, so I gotta probably stay in the lower gear when going this slow. So like I'm creeping, and I was in third gear. That makes sense why it would stall. Now the actual wheel itself. So you see, I make a right-hand turn. If I let go of the wheel, you see how it spins back into place. That is how it's supposed to work as well. If you don't know now, you know. I know some people watching this might not actually have a driver's license, or maybe you don't drive a real car. But I tried to fine-tune my settings so that it felt semi-realistic. There's still some tweaking that I could do to make it feel better, at least as far as the wheel recentering itself. But there's no spring. This is a direct drive wheel. It's not, you know, there's no spring at all. You know what I mean? We have 900 degrees of turning, at least in my current settings. The Mosul wheel can go, I mean, I don't know. For trucking, I have it at 1080 or 1800 degrees of turn or something like that. But right now, for this regular city driving, I had it set to 900. So I've done some things in the settings for. Oh, yeah. I keep stalling it. It's not my car, right? I gotta get used to this. This is not my normal car. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's send it. There's nobody on board. Let's send it. Fifth. I'm much more confident now shooting the gap with my wheel. Before, with my darn, with my oh, can I get stopped this time? Before with my with my controller, I was like, yeah, man, that thing was sketch, bro, real sketch. Come on. Honestly, if you just feel like you're gonna stall, just push the clutch in. It'll keep you from stalling. I'm gonna start doing that. But what was I even talking about? I don't even remember. All right, our pickup's right here on our right after the lights on the right. And I don't know if they have right on red in Barcelona, but we're gonna do it. Yeah. Oh yeah, the recentering. Yeah. So I try to get as close as possible. So I basically kind of. Oh, we got parallel parking. That's easy. With the wheel, that's easy. All right, we in there. Hello, man. Businessman on board. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Good morning, I think. Is it still morning here in Barcelona? I don't even know. I can't keep track of time. I've been driving all night. Anyways, I don't think this guy's gonna talk. Oh, hey.
This awful buck from the window.
Okay, hold on. Freaking guy complaining about the bugs in my. Hey, you wanna wash my car for me? You wanna wash it? You can wash it for me. We'll do it to the light. Focus on driving right now. Alright, so I have a button for that. So I have my knobs here. Where's the window? There's the window. No, that's not it. Lights, emergency actions, AC, radio, additional car systems, wipers. There we go. And that should wipe it off. There we go. And thank you, man. We stalled it because you want me to wipe freaking bug off. Right turn here. Alright, can I turn the wipers off now? Yeah, I think the way I have it set up right now, I really like this. Where I have my brake bias and my traction control button is actually what I'm using in order to manipulate this stuff, which is... Okay, it's stalled. Which is pretty cool. So, but anyways, the reason it stalled is because while we were in that menu, the game didn't actually stop. It was still running. But yeah, it feels good. I did some manipulation in the actual Taxi Life wheel settings menu, but I also used the Moza software. Has its own software for like fine tuning it. So I basically made a new profile for city driving specifically for this game. Because the default setting had my wheel like springing back to center aggressively fast. And I didn't like that. It felt very unrealistic. Like there's no wheel springs back to the center. So a lot of that's because, you know, it's making it for a lot of the regular wheels, the belt-driven wheels, like the Logitech and things like that. And so the direct drive wheel, you kind of have a unique set of you know, things that you need to worry about. Even like it has like wheel dampening turned all the way up. So I'll show you all my settings at the end if you stick around for that. So another thing I noticed, and I can show you here right now as we go up through the gears again. And here comes the speed bump. We do have feedback. I'm gonna feel that. And the wheel, actually, I didn't feel that one in the wheel, which is weird. I should have felt it. Oh, I forgot to show you what I was going to show you. I'll show you at the next stoplight, because we'll definitely get stopped again at yet another light, I'm sure. But basically, I want to show you the engine braking. All right, back into first. We'll go into second first. You'll probably start in third, I bet. All right, 70 miles an hour or 70 kilometers is the speed limit. So if I let go of the throttle, you see how it starts to like slow down? That's the engine braking. Now, in a manual gear car, that does happen. That does exist. It's a bit too aggressive. Don't you turn on me. Oh, you still hit me. You freaking. It's a bit too aggressive in this game, I feel like. Because when I press the throttle, which I'm pressing the throttle right now, let go. See how it just wants to come to a stop? So in real life, that does happen. They call it engine braking. But it's just too aggressive. You should be able to coast much farther. Now, if I press the clutch down, what I'm doing right now, it just goes like you're in neutral. I put it in neutral, exact same thing. Now, if I put it in gear in the third, it slows down, which is actually pretty cool. So you could actually shift down to stop like you would in real life. In some cases, some people do that, some people don't. I'm a little paranoid in my real car. I'm gonna get out of this lane. I'm a little paranoid in my real car to do too much aggressive engine braking, because I'm worried I'm like gonna blow something. I haven't learned the perfect rev matching yet for my car. All right, so we'll get over. Speed limit around this street is 70, but these guys are kind of in the way, and I don't want to hit anybody. We already got in one little incident there. We'll make a right here. Might be to shoot this gap. Oh, yes, we got it. All right. I didn't stall because I held the clutch. I'm learning. I am learning. So the only thing we're missing here is, let me think. I don't know, maybe the radio. There is a radio. I just don't really like the stations that are on it. Oh, watch out for pedestrians. That's still a problem. But yeah, it's a lot of fun now. I'm actually having a lot of fun now that I have the wheel. Having a lot of fun. It's going green for us. I can be much more precise. I'm a lot more confident as I drive. I love how the wheel spins and turns as you hit some of these sharper turns. The city is still gorgeous, as it always has been. Watch out, man. As far as force feedback, we talked a little bit about that. There's it's not the greatest of force feedback that's being delivered from the game. I mean, you're getting some of the harder bumps. Like there's a bump we just drove over a couple kilometers ago, and that felt pretty good. If I go over here and just ignore my bad driving as I put it on the curb on purpose, if I go there, I did feel that, which is also really good. You do feel the speed bumps. Let's go ahead and speed up. I think the speed limit is 70, right? Yeah, I believe it's 70. Yeah, 70. So I won't. You still can use cruise control. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to just show you guys how smooth I can drive with the wheel and the pedals. I don't have to make a whole lot of adjustments because I have to be very sensitive. There's 50 there. If I let go of the gas, you see engine braking, holding down the clutch, putting the neutral, and brake. Now, I'm pressing the brakes really hard because I have load cell pedals and it takes a bit more power to get into brakes. We got to turn right here. Let's see if we can get ahead of this guy. Nope, we'll go behind him. Squeeze in here. Give me a left turn here. He's turning also. And straight. Go. Can I get between? Ha! I did it. Okay. Left. But yeah. Other than that, you saw how I just jerked out of my hand? That's because I hit the curb and I wasn't really holding the wheel much, and it jerked out of my hand. So yeah, feedback is okay, right? It's good enough. I'm okay. Oh, I think I'm on the wrong side of the road. Oops, I thought this was a left turn. My bad. I'm not from here. I'm still new in town. I really thought that was a turning lane. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's not great. It's good enough, so it's not too distracting. All I want to make sure is that I can, like that right there. And I have, again, this is a 9 Newton-meter torque wheel, so I mean, it's gonna kick. Now you can turn that down if you don't want to be that aggressive, which I did turn down, but I got a 9 Newton-meter direct drive wheel. Like I want to use it at some point. You know what I mean? One thing I do want to do in my settings, because I'm going to show you my settings later, but one thing I do want to do is I want to make it a little heavier. Right now the wheel feels just a little too light. Yeah, it's just a little too light right now. So once I make it a little heavier, I'll be happy. But I haven't messed around with it all too much. But good, I'm excited. Finally get back into taxi life. Now I have a reason to drive again. A nice chill way. I mean, I think the best way to play taxi life is just to sit back, relax, play some music in the background, you know what I'm saying? Maybe hop on Discord with some friends. Be like a real taxi driver, you know what I mean? Just be on the phone the whole time, talking to your family, yelling, laughing, you know what I'm saying? Got a little music on there, so that'll give you a real bad review. But, oh my God, these guys. I stalled again because he smashed on the freaking brakes in front of me. He brake checked me, man. Freaking brake checked me. All right, so speed limit is 30K on this road. We'll go ahead and hop onto the right lane. We'll stay in fairly low gear as our drop off is right up ahead, and it's like a pretty easy one. We can just drive it right into in a second. Nice and slow. And post it in and stop right there. We made it. I hope you have an amazing day, my friend. We will catch you next time. So I'm talking about 2 happy customers. Well, guys, that is gonna be it for our drive today. I honestly been wanting to do another Taxi Life video ever since the game came out, and it honestly kind of like sucked the life out of it for me that I couldn't use my wheel, and so I was like, man, if it's not fun for me, I'm not gonna make the content. You know what I mean? So now that I can use my wheel, it's a whole new game. It's a whole new game. Now, obviously, I can fine tune it. I can make things a little bit better here and there. But I'm really, really enjoying this. Matter of fact, I want to go pick up another customer right now. But let's go ahead and dive into my settings just real quick for those who may want to see, and then we will be done for today. All right, to get to your control settings, you go to System Settings, and then we'll go to the top right, go to Controls, and then we'll click at Device Type. The right times, we'll see steering wheel, and here you can change all of your settings. So you can see here I have force feedback damper set to 0%, the spring also to 0%, constant at 100%, and your periodic to 50%. Now the constant is what actually kind of gives you the feedback of like the curbs and speed bumps and stuff like that. So you definitely want that up high if you're gonna feel those bumps. The periodic, I have no idea what that means. But down here you can see it has the steering wheel device, which I have selected for R9. Device 1 is SRP pedals, the HGP shifter, and then we have the handbrake here, and there's also space for a 4th device if you have one. You could also set your steering wheel rotation if you want a lot more rotation or less. You could also invert your acceleration pedal and everything like that. And then down here we have all of our actual button mappings. But that is what I have set in Taxi Life. Now, where I really did the most tinkering is in the actual Moza software to get the wheel feeling the way I like it. Okay, and now here we are in the Moza Pit House software. We'll go over to my actual R9 base here to show you where I've made my changes. So I have a preset that I made called City Driving V1. If you want it, I'll find a way to share it with you. But right here, my maximum steering angle is set to 900 degrees. Roll sensitivity is all the way up at 9. Game force feedback intensity, that's 70. Again, I turned it down a bit. Our maximum wheel speed, which means basically how fast the wheel spins back into place, is at 30, so fairly low. Wheel spring I've actually turned up. So this setting in Taxi Life is turned at 0 because I wanted the software to actually turn it up. So I have this turned up to allow me to kind of get that nice spin back that I want as I recenter the car. And then over to the advanced settings, there's one main thing that I changed. I set it to CS, that's the wheel I'm using. And then for the natural inertia, I have it all the way maxed at 500, which is supposed to give my wheel a bit of a heavier feel when I'm driving, but it's not heavy enough, so I'm gonna add a bit more to that somewhere else. But if you wanna use any of these settings, you can hit pause on the screen, or again, I can send you the file. And the rest of this stuff I have not messed with. All right, so that is it for this one. I can finally say, yes, I do recommend this game if you have a steering wheel. It's a lot of fun, actually. I've been enjoying it. So let me know what you think about it. And if you would like to see me do more Taxi Life videos, I would not mind doing a whole series on this game. But that's up to you. If you want to see more, I'll do more. If not, I'll just keep it to myself. Until next time, remember you have 3 choices. Give up, give in, and give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time in the next video. I'm out.